What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Steph the Lawn Surgeon, and today I'm gonna do a video, a follow-up video on a leaf cleanup video I just did.
Say hello to my little friend. As long as you love me. As long as you love me. I got my eyes on you, so down. Pick up the food, get the punch. I got my eyes on you, so down. Pick up the food, get.
I've always wanted to do this, basically going back over the comments and talking about why I did what I did and where I did it, because I have a lot of people leaving comments and sometimes it gets kind of strenuous trying to respond to every single comment. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go over it. So if y'all don't know which video I'm talking about, the link is right up here, or is it over here? It's one of these corners. I think it's gonna be over here. More leaf cleanups and blah blah blah. Anywho, first thing I'm gonna address, a couple people asked me, Seth, so no, better yet, I'm gonna go over my first I'm gonna talk about my technique and why I did what I did. I'm looking at the video on my phone right now so I can give y'all play-by-play. Basically, the first comments people were saying is that, like, you know, Seth, you know, I see that like you're having to go dump your bag like after one strike, which I noticed myself. But when you're using a bagger, you have to do a test run, and that was my test run. I was going over it. I was seeing how fast it fill up, because sometimes you have fluffy leaves and then you have these crunchy leaves, and it's kind of hard to explain. Like, crunchy leaves almost turn into dust, you know what I mean? So you can fit a lot more in your bagger system. It doesn't matter if you have a garden tractor or a zero turn, you can fit a lot more in it, you know, going over it a couple of times. But when you have these big fluffy leaves and it's deep, it'll fill up fast. And that's what was happening. I was going over it that one time or whatever, and I'm like, man, this thing's filling up fast. So with that being said, the next process, I did that one little side of the yard. The next process of what I did, I got out my leaf blowers. And then I went to this right here. Let me get to it. Right here, where I'm blowing the leaves. So now I'm blowing everything off the curb. I'm blowing everything, you know, from off the driveway into the yard. And so this is me prepping to mulch. People don't realize how helpful mulching is. Especially if you got some good sharp blades. I've actually been thinking about putting the X, doing the X, put 2 blades on 1 spindle. I see people doing that. I don't know if I want to do it with my Mustang, because my Mustang old and it's a residential. It's not like it got like real sturdy spindles anyway. But I was thinking about doing that. I'm either gonna do it to that or the Mustang, or the Graveling. Anywho, that's what I'm doing here. I'm blowing the leaves and getting it all into the yard, because I'm gonna go over it with the without the bagger. So then you fast forward, and this is me chopping everything up. I'm trying to keep everything into the yard and chop the leaves up as fine as possible. Now, when I went over it the first time, I had the deck up as high as possible, which the Troy Bilt only goes up to like 4.25 inches. So I had it up there. Now, when I'm mulching it, I lower down 2 notches, because they don't go by inches on residentials. 8 is 4.25. The 7 is about 4 inches. Then 6 is what I'm mulching it at, which is about 3.75 inches. But when I come back after I finish mulching it up and I come back and start bagging it, I lower it down one more notch, which is about 3.5. So it's winter time. Normally I don't like to cut yards at 3.5, but it's winter time. People like to cut it low. You know, I like to cut my yard low at 3.5 inches. Normally during the year I'm cutting it about 4 inches, but right here I'm bagging it at 3.5 inches. And yes, a whole bunch of crap is shooting out the back of the mower. I noticed that the latch on the side of the bagger system is broke, so sometimes it'll do that and I just have to go back, and I don't notice it because it's happening behind me. But anywho, yeah, that's that. Second thing people was asking me about was my giant leaf bag. So the giant leaf bag, it's it's trashed. I'm still gonna fix it because I'm cheap. But so last year I said last year, like, I tore that thing up. Like, first thing happened, like, it gets heavy. That's the one thing. See, when I use my bagger that's on my Troy Bilt already, I just essentially back onto the trailer and I dump all the leaves in the front of the trailer because I got a pretty long trailer. When I have the giant leaf bagger and I fill that bad boy up, yes, it's nice because I don't have to stop as much, but that bad boy gets heavy. It's like a big giant, it's like at least like 7 bags of leaves in that one giant monster leaf bag. So it gets heavy. And so what was happening was I was trying to train my mind to, when I'm putting it onto the trailer, to lift it over my ramp, because my ramp had areas of where the mesh was coming off, right? And areas where the mesh was coming off, and I didn't want it to rip the bag. So one time I filled this thing up so full, it was wet leaves. I'm like, man, there's no way I'm gonna lift this up. So I said, maybe if I put a tarp down up under it and I drag it onto the trailer, the worst case scenario, it'll rip the tarp that's up under it and it won't rip the bagger. Guess what happened? Not only did it not rip the tarp that I was dragging it on, it ripped the leaf bagger and it didn't even rip the tarp. I'm like, how is that even possible? So I got a long rip along the belly of it. So I said, well, you know, I'm not gonna let that stop me. This giant leaf bagger has been good. So I flipped it inside out. I stapled it. Then I all I had was painter's tape. I should have used like duct tape or something. I put painter's tape on it and then I stapled it again. And so it was holding up. So then part of the way through the season, like on the top of it, like that was on the bottom. On the top of it, it has like this square mesh where it's like an air thing so it can breathe. So that, you know, because you don't want it to explode blowing all the air in there. So right on the seam of where that mesh was, it busts one time. So again, I had my stapler, I stapled it, and you know, I put tape on it, then I stapled it again, did the same thing, and I kept it moving. By the end of the season, both of those areas had held up. But another thing with the Troy Bilt is where the muffler's at, is right where the bag is, on the back. So when it gets heavy, the bag starts to lean up against the muffler. So I ended up getting like 2 or 3 holes of burnt. It just burnt the bag holes through it. It still fills up because those holes in the front and most of the leaves goes in the back. And then by the time it gets to the point of where those things at, it's like full anyway, where those holes at. So I used it to the end of the season, and I threw it to the side, and I said, oh, I'll fix it later or whatever, or buy a new one. So get to the season, you know, me being lazy, I threw it to the side and I just grabbed it I said, oh well, I got the holes from the burnt from the muffler in it. I'll just use it. And so I used it. That first leaf job I did, I forget the name of it. I posted it a while ago. No. I don't think I filmed that one. I didn't film that one. I did another big leaf job a couple of weeks ago. I didn't film it. But yeah. I used it that day. It worked out fine. Then I used it the other day, and the seam that I had taped up and stapled up bust. So after that, I kind of threw it to the side. So long story short, that's what's happening with the leaf bag. And then I went back on Amazon. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna buy me another one. It's only like 70 bucks. And it's out of stock. They don't even sell it no more. I don't really trust buying another one because I bought that one. Even though I've had problems with that, it was kind of problems caused by me. So I don't want to pay, I think, you know, they got them for like $100, $120. I don't want to pay that money for those. I'm just going to stitch this one up and see if I can make it through the summer. So that's what's going on with my giant leaf bag. But I want to do a follow-up on that video and let y'all know, answer some questions and stuff. So if y'all like this, I will do more follow-up videos when I have free time. Today I'm off for work, so I have lots of free time. So I'm making lots of videos. Y'all probably see lots of videos of me in this shirt. Anywho, I'm probably about to go make another video because I got some food on the grill, smoking, and I can hear it's raining right now. That's why I keep looking outside, because I'm like, uh-oh, I gotta go check my meat. Anywho, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, stay tuned. Yes, sir.